Like, I probably overdo it, but a lot of streamers at the end of at the end of stream will be like, "Love you guys." Even that, I don't say things like that because even that, even though it's probably not a big deal, there are people that hear that and then they're like, "Oh my god, me too," and they're just like thinking it back, and they don't mean it like deeply, but then just the repetition of it and making that so regular that slowly ferments, you know? And then it becomes like they become kind of dependent on that a little bit sometimes. So, even myself, like I probably don't need to go this far, but I do kind of avoid saying certain things like that or whatever because, while it's not a huge number of people, there's some folks that get a little misunderstanding with that. And usually it comes from like a slow slope, not like an initial like she said that therefore she loves me kind of thing. What's this question? How do you deal with simps when you're a small streamer? Um, the way I did it when I was a small streamer, if someone came in and they were like hard simping or whatever, I'd just be like, "Hey, buddy, you're no different from everyone else here. Let's keep it chill." You know what I mean? Because like everyone would be like, "I love this game," talking about the game, and then someone would be like, "Well, love you so much. You're so different from the rest of them. You're something something." And they'd just be like hard, like love bombing you. I'd be like, "Brother, let's not. Do you see anyone else doing that? Let's chill." Like I'd say things like that, and then just have a mod. If you feel uncomfortable saying it yourself because you feel like a meanie, you have the mod be like, "Let's calm down." Give them a chance to calm down, and see what happens. And if they can't, then you gotta get rid of them, prune them. A lot of those people can tone it down once they realize you don't want that, though. Some of them think that it's just positive attention, so they don't get why it's bad or could be bad. So you just tell them, "Hey, my boundaries are further back than that. Can you take a step back?" Use the word boundary. Be like, "Hey, I don't like the love bombing. My boundaries are a little further away from me than that. Can you just tone it down?" And usually, if you say that, if you say you're crossing my boundaries, they go, "Oh no," and they take it down a notch. Typically, usually, not always. The ones that hear you say that and then keep going are people you should absolutely get rid of instantly. It doesn't matter if they mean well and they're love bombing you, whatever. It means that you. It means that that person is totally okay with crossing your boundaries even when you said no, right? It doesn't matter if they're doing it positively. Like, that's just bad behavior, and you don't want that person in your community. Because what if they're hanging out in your Discord and they start to like someone in VC and they start to message them and then they start pushing that person's boundaries, and now there's a scary one-on-one scenario going on in your space. You know what I mean? Like, this behavior can be a pattern. So yeah, if you're a streamer, a small streamer, and you're like, "Yo, don't do that," and they keep doing it, and you're like, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with that. Please don't do that," and they keep doing it, you should get rid of them. You should 100%, boom, get them out. Anytime I didn't remove one of those people early enough, like 9 times out of 10, it turned into that in some way, shape, or form. So, not good. Oh yeah, Parappa, you said the way Bruce does it bluntly. Yeah, yeah, I always like that too. Bruce is just very like, "I'm your streamer. I love you guys being my community. Love to be your streamer, but that's what it is." And he just, he says it very matter of fact, which I think is good. That's one of those things. You'd have to just start a group of Euroids that want to do it. He said, as a theoretical, how would you feel about a hangout with GEEGA and VC sub tier, yay or nay? Absolutely the fuck not. I think the moment you open yourself to people paying to sit there and talk to you, like one-on-one or like in a small group, the moment you open that up, like if you pay for this, you will get this, that's when it becomes a problem. It's one thing if you have a VC that certain tiers of subs can access and maybe you sometimes pop in, but the moment it's like a thing that does happen, like they will get that if they pay for it, I feel like that's where it starts to get like, no, no, because it's an expectation, right? If it's something that's not expected, it's just like, oh, it could happen, but it's nice, but it doesn't, it's not expected, then it stays pretty natural and comfortable, I feel. But the moment it's like a thing, like a reward for it, Nah. You know, that's when you get people getting really weird about it. You basically, what happens is you end up with a bunch of people that feel really like entitled to that from you, and then if you don't react to them in the way that they want, you get the types of people that like will crash out when you don't give them what they want. So yeah, like you said, can't wait for my paid trauma dump. Yeah, no, literally, I've had friends do that. I've had friends actually do that, and a lot of what they've gotten is it swapped from the moment they made it pay to definitely get some time with me. They got a lot of people paying to get in there and get time with them, and a lot of those folks ended up being the ones that would expect them to sit there and listen when they trauma dump, expect them to remember everything that they tell them as if they are a real friend having a real conversation, and you know, you're sitting there caring about every little thing they tell you about their work day or whatever, and then the next time if you show up and you don't remember everything they told you, they'd be like, I thought we were having a conversation. It, like, you know what I mean? It's just like that kind of stuff where they think like the moment they start talking to you, you're going to be as invested in them as they are in you, right? And I feel like that's one of those things that you should not set up that expectation, right? I think the creator never says that that's the expectation, but people will think that. So, no. You know what I mean? I feel like it's better to not open it up to that. It's not good. Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, yeah. It's just like I've seen friends do this before. A lot of people have used Patreon to do this kind of stuff. I think it's nice to do it in a larger group, like if you have a huge community and you let them pay for like one, they get one VC a month where they could sit there and talk to you, whatever, but it's a lot of people. It gets less weird because when there are a lot of people there, they're kind of aware this is still a community thing. But when it's a really tiny community and you've got like 8 people, like 7 people and one creator in a VC, and they're just like paying to sit there and talk to them, you sometimes get like some of the ones that are really like not good, not healthy, you know? But yeah, I think the bigger it is, the more people that are there, the more healthy it ends up being because they're more self-aware, you know? Yeah, like larger meetups and stuff. I think that stuff is okay. It really depends on I think scale of it more than anything. And if you have mods there to prune people when they get weird or not. If you're just doing it yourself, you're like a smaller creator or whether a smaller creator or not, if you're like, oh, 10 slots and you could pay to hang out and then you're there without mods, like that, you know, it really depends on the setup. So, no thanks. No thanks. They think they paying for therapy. It's not just that. A lot of them pay, and I think they need to remember that because they paid, this is transactional now, right? It's not a, oh, I just stopped in a VC to be nice because just to see you guys kind of thing. Now it's a transaction. But then when they get there, they try to act like it's not. Like you guys are there because you really just want to hang out. And there ends up being a disconnect. And I think that's not good. That's not good. Not that everyone does that, but most viewers that pay for like those little meetups, like the tiny ones, a lot of them end up feeling like it's like they're trying to go into it like it's not transactional, and I don't think that's healthy. It's not good to almost bait people into those scenarios, you know? And then some creators will really try to pretend in front of those people that they're like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. And I'm like, you're not happy to see that guy in particular. There's some people that get tier 3 sub benefits in the server just because they earned the most points in the community for like interacting, you know, and not even paying anything. So don't forget about that. You know, we try to make sure that those people know, like, if they're really active, they get stuff. You track those. Everything is tracked. Yes, your dailies are tracked under you as a unique user. I know how many points you've got each month. People who, we're going to go over offerings today, but people who do a lot of things for the community and are very active get more points. And the people who get the most each month get tier 3 sub benefits in the server, whether they are tier 3 subbed or not. So, yeah. Yeah. We always do that. Because again, nothing in this world should be pay to win. Nothing.